Hello, this is Lisa with Old Orchid Yarnery. I'm here today to show you a short tutorial on how to do a provisional cast on using a crochet hook. Some of us are making the bobble sheet pillow pattern by Pearl Soho, and it has you start with a provisional cast on. All a provisional cast on means is that you want to leave some live stitches at the other end to avoid having to pick stitches up. So you're just going to start with a contrasting yarn, not your working yarn for your project. It should be a similar weight, however. You're going to go ahead and make a slip knot. You can put that slip knot on your crochet hook and chain a few. Doesn't really matter how many. I do 4 or 5. Just start out with a few chains. Then you're going to pick up your knitting needle and you're going to place your knitting needle over the yarn so that it's like this. So we've got our knitting needle over the yarn. We've got our crochet hook over the knitting needle. And now I'm going to pull up a loop with that yarn and I'm going to continue to chain. So I've made one chain and now I'm going to move the yarn to the back of the needle, pull up a loop again and chain. And I'm going to continue doing that, yarn to the back of the needle and chain, yarn to the back of the needle and chain, for however many stitches your pattern tells you to cast on provisionally. I think this pattern calls for 46, but for demonstration purposes today, I'm just going to do 8 or 10. So as you see, I just continue moving the yarn to the back of the needle and then pulling up a loop with my crochet hook and pulling it through as a chain. Yarn to the back, pulling up a loop and pulling it through. What do we got? 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, one more. Yarn to the back, pulling up a loop and pulling it through. So now say I've cast on the number of stitches that my pattern calls for. You can see here's the chain. This is essentially the back side of the crochet chain. There's a little bar back there, but rather than pick that up, which is another method, I prefer to do it this way. So now that we're done, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to break my yarn. And I'm going to just pull that through. Before I pull through, I'm going to chain a couple more on the other end. So we're starting with a couple chains, we're ending with a couple chains, and then I'm going to show you a trick. I like to take then this last part and I tie a knot right in the yarn. The reason is that tells me this is the side I need to undo to unzip it when I'm done. Maybe I'll tie a couple knots just to give me a clue that that's the side I want to undo. So now I have these stitches on my knitting needle and this hanging here like this. So I'm going to just knit into these stitches just like normal. Now I've already started my project, so let me show you what that looks like. So here's my provisional cast on down here at this edge, and then I've just started knitting my project like normal. When I get to the point where it tells me to remove this provisional cast on, I'm going to get this side that has the knot in it, and I'm going to take out that little slip knot at the end, and I'm going to unzip this chain, and it will leave me live stitches in my white yarn here that I can then put on a needle and continue to knit the other direction. So that's it, a provisional cast on with a crochet hook. Hope that helps.